Hi, Trisha Barretto here. I'm a psychic medium and I use my abilities to help locate missing people. I have a podcast dedicated to doing that called Missing Person Search. I think it's really important to differentiate that I'm not just a psychic medium. I'm a psychic medium that specializes in getting location insight for missing people to help locate them. So Hannah Kobayashi has been missing. She's from Maui. She was traveling to New York. She had, a layover at LAX and she's gone missing. And so I haven't really looked at this case because I'm currently working on the Sebastian Rogers case, which I've been trying to get to for months, but I'm also still kind of working on the Suzanne Simpson case behind the scenes. So with me, when it comes to missing person cases, if I work on them, the cases are never closed until the bodies are found, until the people are found. So the door's kind of always open. So I have to revisit cases a lot and kind of still continue to work on them. So it's hard to have the time and the energy and the resources to work on all the missing person cases that pop up literally every single day, not only in the United States that I work on, but internationally. So what I need from those that support my work is, one, I need you to share all of this stuff, because there's always insight that I'm giving and putting out there about these missing people. I think a lot of people don't know I exist. They don't know my podcast exists. My podcast is fairly new, even though I've been working on private missing person cases for 5-6 years now. But share me, share my podcast, share my work, because it could really help the loved ones of a missing person be able to find me and be able to have my abilities as a resource in helping to locate their missing loved one. Also, my podcast is a listener-supported podcast. I don't make any money from the podcast, but I spend so much of my time every single day working on these cases. In order to sustain me, to keep doing this work, I need people to support my podcast, even with donations. So all the links, my website to make a donation, my podcast, the cases I've worked on publicly, the videos of the insight, it's all there in the links in my bios. When it comes to Hannah Kobayashi, this is what I'll say. First, I feel like she met up with somebody she thought she knew from, it feels like the internet. It would be like over the phone, over the internet. Like there's some association there I'm feeling. And I also keep hearing somebody saying, go, go, go. It almost feels like she's being rushed into a vehicle. I'm not sure if it's a vehicle, but it just kind of feels like somebody like rushing her into like a location, like it just really feels like a vehicle. So I really haven't looked at this case. This is just right off what Spirit's giving me, what I'm already feeling about this. I feel like something is off with her mental health right now at this moment. It feels like something off about mental health or emotional health. I feel like there's more that the family's not putting out in the public. There's something hidden here that they would know, or law enforcement would already know, that's not being given to the public. I feel that strongly. Now, this is not a full-on reading. This is just right off the bat. But the way that I'm going to do this with Hannah Kobayashi is I'm not going to work on this case just because of the overwhelming amount of cases that I'm currently working on. The only exception is if Hannah Kobayashi's family directly reaches out to me through my website or through my socials. That's the only way, because it's just too much. But I hope this little insight is useful and you can share it. Maybe you sharing it gets it to Hannah's family, and then they can reach out to me directly themselves. But again, I'm Trisha Barretto. I'm a psychic medium. I have a podcast called Missing Person Search, and I use my abilities to help locate missing people. I don't know what else to say here. What else, Spirit? Is there anything else to share? Yeah, just support my work. Share it. Donate. get private readings with me. I offer psychic readings, medium readings, animal communication readings. I do a lot within my work, but when it comes to missing people, a lot of the work that I do is pro bono, but it's actually pretty overwhelming working on these cases because one, they're really hard cases. If you go back and look at some of the ones that I've worked on publicly, there's a lot of homicides involved and there's a lot of hard things. So it's that, but it's also just every single day there's so many cases and it takes time to work on these cases. I think that, I can work on a case in a day or two, but it doesn't feel complete to me as far as getting multiple location insight unless I work on it for multiple days. And then there's cases that I revisit for weeks and even months because the person's body hasn't been recovered. And there needs to be justice and there needs to, bring in some kind of peace and healing towards their loved ones. And it's a lot. It's a lot. I'm not, I don't talk about how much of a lot it is, but it is. So I can use all the support. I think like there's people that take credit for my work. There's people that are in the business of missing persons and they get paid to do their jobs locating missing people. But a lot of times I don't get credit. I don't get paid. And I'm just out here doing this work, giving. So it can be pretty draining. So I need people to give back to me and support my work just as much as I'm giving. So that would help me to sustain, to keep doing the Missing Person Search podcast and keep working on these cases pro bono. I do offer private missing person readings that are private, and that's available on my website as well. If somebody didn't want me to work on the case publicly but want to hire me to work on them privately, I do that as well. So again, all in my links in my bios. Please share. Thank